Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Overanalyst here with another Kingdom Hearts theory video. This video is in response to Kendrick Claus's comment on my Elrena and Lauriam video. He stated, "I don't believe Lauriam and Elrena got possessed by darkness. I think one definitely resides within Luxu as per the Master's plan. I think maybe since Luxu already had a darkness inside him, the unknown darkness did not possess Luxu for some reason. Maybe the darkness inside Luxu wouldn't allow another to inhabit the host, sort of like a 'this is my body, get your own' sort of deal, not sure. The unknown darkness inside stayed within the Age of Fairy Tales, continuing on in a regular flow of time, waiting for a worthy candidate to inhabit. Who this candidate is, I believe could be Xehanort. His heart is very strong and easily susceptible due to his infatuation with the darkness, and defeating Xehanort at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 also destroyed this unknown darkness. This could also explain the Master's conversation with Xehanort during Remind DLC. The Masters had finally found a worthy vessel for the final 13th darkness." Wow, that was a mouthful. I really love this theory video, and I believe that I can even expand more on it. So buckle up tight, guys, because this theory video is going to be bonkers. As always, if you agree or disagree with this theory, or have one of your own, feel free to talk about it in the comment section down below. I mainly do these theory videos so that I can interact with everyone and see all sorts of cool thoughts and opinions. All that being said, let's jump into this theory, shall we? This theory revolves around the willful darkness that Luxu encounters at the end of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Now, for me personally, I am not 100% convinced that Luxu is a vessel for willful darkness, but for this theory, let's assume that he is. In the past, I discussed other candidates to be vessels, so if you are curious on who they are, check out this playlist of Kingdom Hearts theories. So, Luxu took on a willful darkness at the end of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Let's say that he defeated that darkness. Now, whether the reason he was able to do so was because he already was a vessel for a darkness, or he refused to be a host in the first place, let's just say that the defeated darkness was left behind while everyone else used the Ark to travel to the future. Except Ephemera, of course. So, where did that darkness go? To Wonderland, of course. In Dark Road, a young Xehanort encountered a very wrathful Queen of Hearts. After a second visit to confirm his suspicions, he noticed a dark figure behind the Queen, influencing her judgments. I believe that this dark figure is the same willful darkness that was defeated by Luxu. So, the willful darkness decided that a very curious young Xehanort would be a great candidate for a host, right? Well, a basic view of this theory would say yes. The willful darkness saw a great opportunity in young Xehanort and took it. But what if in reality it had its sights on another potential candidate? Perhaps a candidate that assumes dark traits, like the Queen of Hearts, for example. Like wrath. Now, who is quite wrathful in Dark Road? Eraqus. That's right, I am extending this theory to include Eraqus, and I believe that it is hinted in the conversation between the Master of Masters and young Xehanort. The first thing that I want to establish about this conversation is that it takes place during Dark Road. Here we see a young Xehanort wearing a black coat that the Master of Masters seemed to have given to him in a prior encounter. Now, notice that young Xehanort's eyes are gray in this scene. That means that he is not consumed by darkness yet, and he wears the black coat in order to ward them off. Now, let's listen in on this conversation.
Yeah. It wards off darkness. It's useful.
Told ya. So, how'd it go?
The tour. I learned the reason for my existence.
So, Xehanort has been going around from world to world, learning about his place in this world. As he is talking, he talks in generality, but I get the feeling that he is really referring to a specific person.
Oh, tell me more.
All around the world, people live seemingly peaceful lives. They believe themselves to be moral and virtuous, but it's all an act. Darkness lurks in the pit of everyone's heart. Their light is a total farce.
Xehanort is talking about people acting virtuous while lying to themselves. What person comes to mind that is virtuous but has shown dark tendencies? That's right, Eraqus. In Dark Road, Eraqus gets heated up at the slightest mention of darkness. He hates it with such a passion that he becomes heated at the mere mention of it. His hatred towards the darkness might act more like a beacon for the willful darkness possessing the Queen of Hearts, which, for the remainder of this video, I am going to call Wrath, aptly named after one of the 7 deadly sins. So, right now I am saying that Eraqus is a beacon for Wrath, but did he actually become a vessel? Well, let's continue on with this conversation.
Sounds like your trip around the world opened your eyes, but you got a little bit more than you anticipated. You must have seen a lot of darkness.
Those who are weak and who desire greater power simply strip the strong of their power and convince themselves they've earned it. That's how people become tainted by darkness. They believe what they want to believe, using hollow reasons as justification. They repeat this cycle, and their darkness grows.
So far, what young Xehanort is saying fits in line with the theory. Together, he and Eraqus travel around the world, possibly taking down bad guys. Since Eraqus's hatred for darkness is incredibly strong, it is possible that he started taking people out who simply showed signs of darkness, making young Xehanort question who truly was the villain. The more people Eraqus defeats, the more he believes his actions are justified, which in turn makes young Xehanort question them even more. If you think about it, when else was there an instance where Eraqus thought he was fighting for the light? That's right, it's when he tried to kill Ventus in order to prevent the creation of the Keyblade. This is the cycle that Xehanort refers to in the conversation. So, when the Master of Masters questions Xehanort's philosophy, this is what he had to say.
So you're saying the weak feel the need to justify their actions to maintain a sense of self. Can't let that slide?
No, it's better they be ruled by darkness. People carry delusions of having power, but it's a lie. They are but sheep pretending to be wolves. Though I admit, I can understand why.
Oh, I've never heard that one before. A Keyblade wielder willing to side with the darkness? Why not just let them be until the darkness consumes them?
Because left alone, the world would fall to chaos. There needs to be order.
So, I find this part extremely vague, even by Kingdom Hearts standards, but I am going to attempt to break down what he means anyway. Xehanort says that people who think that they have power are nothing more than mere sheep. But what people is he talking about? I've already mentioned that I think he was referring to Eraqus earlier on in the conversation. However, what if he is also referring to the other classmates? What if they are the sheep who think they have power by following Eraqus's lead, defeating darknesses because they believe it is the right thing to do? By doing so, they are slowly being consumed by darkness without even realizing that they are becoming what they had sworn to defeat. This also makes sense with the Willful Darkness's end goal. Wrath tells Luxu that their goal is simply to spread. So it makes sense that the people best to spread darkness are Eraqus and the rest of the classmates. So, left unchecked, darkness will spread to the point where even the classmates may turn on each other, causing chaos to commence. Don't believe me? Just look at the Keyblade War. The foretellers got so wrapped up in thinking they were virtuous, they did not realize the darkness creeping into their hearts until it was too late. I think the exact same thing is happening to young Xehanort's classmates, and he realizes this. That's why he gives this answer to the Master of Masters when asked about it.
You sure about that? Why not just sit back and watch it play out?
Understanding hearts is difficult. More so the emotions within. I simply realize that it's easy to dismiss what you don't comprehend.
He's simply talking about his classmates, and especially Eraqus's hatred towards darkness. They don't understand dark feelings, and just dismiss them as something evil that needs to be rid of. However, Xehanort, who has been trying to understand darkness the whole time, has been watching and paying attention to how darkness grows within everyone, instead of immediately dismissing it. A good example of this is how he groomed Terra in Birth by Sleep. During Terra and Aqua's Mark of Mastery exam, Xehanort is seen bringing out the darkness within Terra, which Eraqus notices and immediately flunks Terra for. Eraqus, doing exactly what young Xehanort had said, dismissed the darkness within Terra as something that needed to be controlled. However, Xehanort saw that as potential and took Terra in as a pupil. Now, let's see what the Master of Masters has to say about this.
All right. The world needs you. I'll grant you that one.
I don't know what I can do, but I will act. What comes next is too important.
I suppose letting false light dictate the future might be a pretty lousy move. So, you can make a change. You have that power. What do you want for the world?
I swear, looking at this conversation from this type of lens makes it seem that the Master of Masters is prepping young Xehanort to be a vessel. This whole conversation is a ploy by him to make Xehanort convinced that he needs to turn on his friends and become a vessel. This becomes even more abundantly clear when Xehanort shows signs of hesitation.
Power, eh? Who knows? My training's coming to an end, and the exam's not far off. Maybe I can gain some clarity then.
You're letting the exam decide? Listen to me. The results don't matter. You believe the world needs you. Sounds like you already know where you're headed.
Well, simply put, the Master of Masters is trying to squash any hesitation within Xehanort. But I believe that Xehanort has a good reason to hesitate. He is going up against his friends. He is hoping that for whatever reason, the Mark of Mastery will make him change his mind about them. But the Master of Masters calls him out for it. He pretty much says, "We both know that you have to turn on your friends, so suck it up." This saddens Xehanort, which is why he sighs and talks about the coat.
It's funny. Somehow, I can sense where I'm supposed to go, and what I'm supposed to do. Yes. Even this coat. There's something familiar about it. As if I'm meant to wear this.
No. You'll ditch it soon.
What do you mean?
I mean that one day you're going to outgrow it.
How so?
If you truly possess great power, The darkness can't control you. You won't need a silly old coat to stay safe. In fact, you'll be the one controlling the darkness instead. Me, on the other hand, I'm too much of a scaredy cat to ever take mine off.
Who are you, really? Some kind of fortune teller?
Well, I could lie and tell you that's what I am when I'm actually a brilliant artist, or even a scholar. I could tell you that I dream of world peace when I'm actually planning for its destruction. The truth is what you see with your eyes, not what you hear.
At this point, Xehanort is showing a little bit of doubt, perhaps finding comfort in the coat. Here we see the Master of Masters masterfully manipulate Xehanort. Not only does he fend off Xehanort's concern about the coat by telling him that he won't even need it, he tells a joke to make Xehanort question him. Then he straight up tells Xehanort the truth about everything in such a vague way that makes Xehanort realize that the truth to everything is in what he sees personally, not what he hears from other people. Therefore, even though Xehanort's friends say that they are fighting for the light, what he sees in reality is that they are in fact supporting the spread of darkness, led by Eraqus that has been possessed by wrath.
So, your name?
What did I just... Never mind. I guess there's no harm. My name is... I'm a lost master.
Lost master?
May your heart be your guiding key.
So, after taking in what Master of Masters said, young Xehanort notices that the Master of Masters did not say his name. So, having shown that he learned his lesson, the Master of Masters rewarded Xehanort by telling him his name, as well as telling him that he is a lost master. The final piece of advice he gives at the end is, may your heart be your guiding key. Or, simply put, do what you believe is right. After the talk with the Master of Masters, Xehanort took the Master of Master exam with the rest of his classmates, including Eraqus. I believe that at some point in the exam, he shedded his coat in order to take in wrath, proving that he had a strong enough heart to become a vessel for a willful darkness, exactly according to the Master of Masters' plan. So, when Sword defeated him in Kingdom Hearts 3, it is possible that he defeated Wrath as well. With possibly Vanitas defeated and 4 other willful darknesses locked away in the data world, the remaining 7 darknesses are the ones represented by the chess pieces, indicating the foretellers and the Master of Masters. But what do you guys think? Am I looking too far into this conversation between Xehanort and the Master of Masters? Is there a better way to explain Xehanort to be a vessel? Tell me in the comment section down below. This was a fun video to make, and I wrote the majority of this script live on Twitch. So if you are curious how I think things through, make sure you follow me there. I announce my streams on Twitter, so make sure you follow me there as well. Links will be in the description down below. As always, thank you all so much for making it to the end of the video. I put in a lot of effort into these videos, so it always makes my day to see them do well. That being said, I'm the Anime Overanalyst, and I'll see you guys in the next video.